Hello viewers, welcome to Food Braggers Network. I hope you have enjoyed the many recipes that I have uploaded for you so far. If you are new to my channel and you haven't seen any of my videos, please do so at Food Braggers Network. Here I present to you great recipes that you could try your hands on at home. If you try the dishes, you test them and they are delicious, then please join the Food Braggers Network family and brag about the recipes. Today, without wasting much time, I'm going to show you what I'm going to make for you. I will be showing you how to make what I call fisherman's delight. I call this dish fisherman's delight simply because most of the major ingredients I'm going to use come from water. And here I have lobster tail, shrimps, tilapia fish. You could use any kind of fish that you so desire. And I do have here mussel. So this all comes from the water, like I said. And then what else would I be using? I have mushrooms. You could also use any kind of mushroom that you so desire. I'll be using yellow onions, sweet potato, some cherry tomatoes, red jalapeno pepper, spicy red pepper, and mini bell peppers. And then to season this up, I'm going to use black pepper. I'm going to use dried cilantro leaves, dried oregano leaves, dried parsley flakes, some curry powder, minced garlic, and of course I'll use salt to taste. And most of the time I use fresh basil as well, but I do not have basil at home today, and so I'm just going to omit that. But if you do have fresh basils at home, toss that in and the flavor is just amazing. So now that I've shown you all the ingredients, let's go so I can show us how we put this together and make delicious fisherman's delight. Viewers, because we're in the winter season and it is very cold, that is why I'm showing us various soups that we could use to keep our bodies warm. As time goes on, I'm going to incorporate so many different other videos besides soups so that you could also see how we can use the same ingredients but make various recipes. Viewers, so what I have here is a pot of water on the stove. I have about 3 cups of water and I allow it to warm up. Now I'm going to season that water with my salt. Salt is to your own taste. So I season it with salt. And the first thing I'm going to put in this pot is going to be my mussel. It takes a little while for it to cook. So I'm going to start by putting that into the water and allowing it to cook. So my mussels, I'm going to put into the water. I'm going to allow that to cook in that salty water for about 5 to 10 minutes before I add other ingredients. So it's been 10 minutes and my mussel has been steaming up there. So now what I'm going to add to this pot is going to be my potatoes. I'm going to add in my sweet potatoes, and if you could use any kind of potato that you like, but I like the sweet potato because of the sweet taste, and I cut it into chunks. This takes a little bit to cook as well, a while to cook, so because of that I'm going to also put it in there. And I will allow that also to cook for another 10 minutes. I'm going to cover up that pot. So it's been extra 10 minutes and my mussel and my sweet potatoes have been steaming up there. So now I'm going to add all my water or ingredients. I'm adding my shrimps to it, my tilapia fish, and of course my lobster tail. I'm also going to add to it onions and all my dry ingredients. I have already measured 1 tablespoon each of all the dry ingredients I'm going to use. So I have them here. I'm just going to spread that in. And then add my onions to it. I'm going to stir that up and then cover up the pot and cook it again for another 10 minutes. It's been another 10 minutes past, so I'm going to stir this up and I'm going to add half a cup of peanut oil. You could add more oil if you so desire. Now I add my other fresh ingredients, my cherry tomatoes, which I just cut into halves. Then I have my red jalapeno peppers, which I just cut into tiny bits. I have here spicy pepper, which I just cut into tiny bits as well. And then my mini bell peppers, which I also cut into tiny bits. So I'm going to toss all those in there. And then I toss in my mushrooms. And then my minced garlic. So I'm also going to throw in there minced garlic. I'm going to stir that up. And then I'm going to cook it finally for about 15 to 20 minutes or until my sweet potato is tender. I will check the sweet potatoes to make sure it's tender. Once it is tender, then the meal will be ready. But at least to make sure everything simmers in correctly, I'm going to allow it to cook for at least 15 minutes. Viewers, my fisherman's delight is ready. Please give this recipe a try at home. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up please, and subscribe to my channel, Food Braggers Network, and be one of the first to be notified once I have uploaded new videos. Thank you. Okay guys, I'm just going to show us how I prep some of the major ingredients that I use in making this soup. I have my mussels here. So these mussels, they really have to be cleaned. So you have to cut out the bottom part of the mussel. If you see it here, I think that is where the food reserve is after eating. I will research that further, but I believe so. So because of that, it is very sandy if you do not cut that part. It may seem as if you are wasting a whole lot by cutting that part out from each, but it is very important that you do, otherwise your food will be so sandy and you will not be able to enjoy it. So after cutting it out from each of it, I soak it in a bowl of water for at least 5 to 10 minutes and then rinse it out thoroughly, otherwise, like I said, it will be sandy. Also for my shrimps, they do sell shrimps in the store that have already been thoroughly cleaned, but if yours is not, you simply have to take out the shell. Like here, part of the shell was removed, but I have the tail still left. So I cut out the tail and I devein. Like I said, some come in the store already clean, so you can buy those ones if you're one of those who don't want to do this. Here I take out the veins, which is this black line or thing that you see running through the shrimps. So I take that out and then I nicely wash my shrimps and it's ready for use. Now I'm going to also clean my lobster tail. So what I do here, I'm going to cut off the tails. I'm sorry, the end of the tails, because it is actually the tails. So I'm going to cut off the end of the tails. Cut off the legs. I do not like to include the legs in my meals. Maybe other people do, but I don't. So I'm going to cut off all that using a nice sharp scissors. And you can also buy lobster tail that has already been cleaned in the store so that you don't have to go through doing this yourself. And then of course I'm going to nicely snip the shell. So I snip it on both ends. So you can see I snip the other part. Now I'm snipping this part. This is actually my first time of cleaning lobster for myself, so which is exciting. I'm sharing this with you as I do it, because I'm also learning how I can make it do it myself. So once I snip that, you can see it comes easy, and I take that out nicely. As you can see, it comes out really nicely once you have snipped both ends. And being careful not to lose any meat. And I'm also going to take out, I believe this is the vein as well. So I take that out. And voila, my lobster tail is ready.